So Ryan, I'll let you do what you need to do.
All right.
First of all, hey, Draper, I wanted to ask you, how long have you been in music production?
I'd say like 5 years, but only like actually doing it professionally for 3 years.
Shows you it's not.
That's pretty interesting. Now, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Oh, it's actually that's pretty amazing that young people, like you, are advancing in society like this. Now, how long have you been a part of Monstercat?
Jason, 1 second. It's not live on Google Hangouts.
Yeah, it is.
They're not picking it up.
It will.
Alright, okay, it's all good now. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go, slide 2. And yeah, I'll tell you when they're live.
I think we're live.
Okay.
Alright, Ryan, I'll let you just go straight down the list.
Alright, yeah, they're live. Okay. So let's ask the questions.
Oh, that intro though. Who made that? That's cool.
Oh, Ollie made the intro.
Nice.
Draper, are you watching live on Twitch?
Oh yeah.
Now, is this on your Twitch?
Is what, sorry?
Is this on your Twitch or not?
No, I didn't know. It would be way too confused. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to Twitch. Protestar teaches me everything.
You know, it's funny. I just figured out how to use FL Studio.
Ah. Yeah, that's a popular one.
Yeah. Now, and what do you use for music production and stuff?
I'm on Cubase 7. I worked my way up from like the entry level one, which was Cubase SE3 or something, and then eventually as like the music progressed, I was like, I need to get the better software.
I actually have a copy of Cubase 4, I think it is, from a couple years ago.
Nice.
It was rented from our church that we used to go to. They had a soundboard, and with that soundboard came Cubase, and they never used it. So I kind of took advantage of that, and I bought it for $5.
Nice. That's a good price. How long ago?
I mean, yeah, it's a little old. I wish I could update it. I mean, I don't have the funds. Yeah.
The updates are still expensive. Like if I want to upgrade to Cubase 8, it's still like £170. I'm just like, just give me a free update. There's nothing I need in it, so I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, just wait till we get to the Twitter responses. I tweeted out on Twitter for our Draper interview. Just tweet us a question that we should ask him, and I'm looking. I took screenshots of the list right now, and I can't wait to ask you.
Okay, should we start the questions?
Yeah, Ryan, you want to start that?
Yeah, sure. What's your favorite Monstercat artist other than yourself?
Other than that, I wouldn't vote for myself. Even if you hadn't said that, I wouldn't have voted for myself. If I just gone me, cool. Next question. Yeah, no. I mean, I think in terms of like production, it's Haywire. Like, he's just so good. He's so meticulous with everything he does, every sound he makes. But in terms of like my favorite song, right now it's still Mr. Fiji Ouija's "Believe Her." I just think that's just a really, really cool song. Something that I would play live, I would listen to actively, and I just love that. Love that one. What's your favorite?
That's a good question. There's so many good ones.
And it has to be mine.
Yeah, definitely.
Not yours.
Personally, what is your most favorite release of all time?
What's my favorite? Sorry, what was that?
Your favorite Monstercat release of all time?
Wait. I can probably guess this one. It's gonna be one of Draper's releases.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Me. Actually, yeah, it's a tricky one. I'd probably say I genuinely a point in which it wasn't even an official release, but a point in which I really reevaluated what I was doing because of what I saw was when I watched Haywire's Michael Jackson remix live, the performance video. I just saw that and I was just like, I was on the verge of like genuinely just stopping and just being like, well, I'll never be that good, cool, I'm out. But I didn't. I took it as inspiration and I was like, this is just insanely good. I'm gonna try and be better. Because he just kind of blows everyone out the water. So I think like even though it's not an official release, the Michael Jackson performance video for me is just like,
yeah,
I will watch that for inspiration. I'll watch that. I'll be like, yeah, why aren't I spending 12 hours on my clap sounds and why aren't I making sure that all the chords are different? Like, he's not a copy and paster.
Yeah, he's amazing at the music.
It's good.
It's good.
Why aren't we interviewing Haywire?
What's one standout thing that Monstercat does on the artist side of things?
On the artist, what, sorry?
On the artist side of things.
What's really great is having Jonathan there to kind of. He's basically a really good A&R as well as a really good, I guess, label manager. I don't really know what his job title is.
Yeah.
But if I send him a track, I know that I'll get good feedback. It won't be because he's got a very good ear for that kind of stuff. Obviously, he's clearly got a good ear because he's sorts through all this music, and so he's just really good at making sure that the releases are the best they can be, which is great. Otherwise, I don't have like extended amounts of contact with Monstercat. Jonathan's the only one I directly speak to quite a bit, and Connell a bit. But on a whole, Monstercat are just, they're great at sourcing unheard of people and putting them into the limelight of. Are they on 6 million YouTube views, subscribers? It's either 6 or 3 million subscribers, and it's just like, just one upload from them, and you're a name. You've got a video that's got 300,000 views, kind of thing. So they're great for that.
That's amazing. That's really good.
I love them.
If there was one past artist that you could return with Monstercat, who would it be?
One past artist I could return with? What do you say? It cuts out a bit. I don't know.
If there was one past artist
Yeah.
that you could return with to Monstercat, who would it be?
As in, do a next release with?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
That's tricky. I don't want Haywire to be the answer of all of my questions, but I'm gonna just choose someone else just for the sake of variety. I kind of want to do something with Rogue again. You know,
Yeah.
he's I was chatting to him recently. Right now he's over in Canada hanging out with Monstercat, and he kind of, I don't know, he's really creative and we work well together on one of the remixes, so I'd like to do that again. But he is so hard to get hold of.
That'd be really good. That'd be really good.
Yeah.
Release.
I mean, it's just because he's so diverse. You know, he's kind of known for his dubsteps and his well, now a bit of trap, but he really does do a lot of different stuff that doesn't hear the light of day, but is really good anyway, because he's just a good writer. And it's quite tricky because he's, you know, everyone knows him as the dubsteps guy. He kind of doesn't. It's tricky when people are expecting something from you and then you deliver something else. It's like it's uncertainty whether that'll do well. So I think that's kind of been a kind of figuring out thing for him.
Yeah, that's
Rogue.
Yeah, Rogue's a good artist. How is your collaboration with Protostar going?
Funny you should ask that because he's streaming right now. Like it, put that link somewhere. It's going. Well, yeah, if you want to find out, just click over to Protostar's channel. It's going well. We're just fine-tuning the structure now. We've got the chorus kind of done, and yeah, we're just making it sound as good as it can be, and then we're golden. And then we send it to Jonathan. If Jonathan doesn't like it, then
yeah,
then that's it. He is the decider of all decisions. Well, I mean, I don't want to say that because they probably all decide, but just because Jonathan's the only one I talk to.
Yeah. So how close do you reckon it is to be released?
To release, no idea. To finish, I'd probably say, you know, maybe a couple more streams. He's doing one now, so he'll get it pretty close to finish now, and then maybe I'll fine tune it a bit more, and then I think I'm doing the mix down, and then we'll just send it to Jonathan. Hopefully within the next week. That should be finished.
So it should be on the next album, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah, that'd be sweet.
That's good. What is your favourite genre of music?
Ooh, house, because it's so diverse. There's just so many kind of variations, subgenres of house, and it never gets old because it's like scientifically it's a BPM you can connect with because it's like an elevated heart rate. So you're always gonna feel it. Whereas it's quite tricky with like halftime stuff. You know, it's quite hard to get into the groove sometimes. But I think house for me, anywhere between 118 and 128 or 130 is good for me.
Yeah, that's good.
Like that.
What's your favourite house track?
Of mine?
Of any. That's quite a lot of tracks to pick from.
Yeah. Is it Monstercat or just overall?
We can talk Monstercat if you want to narrow it down a little bit.
I'll tell you what, there is one track, right? It's not Monstercat, but it's a track that I can listen to just over and over again, and it's like a 9-minute track anyway. It's progressive house. It's a song called After Sunrise by, I mean, I don't like the title of the song, but let me just, it's by Mossy, Mossy, After Sunrise. It is, oh man, the chord progression and just the way it develops, I could listen to it any time of day, and it's just, for me, just such a good track, such a good track. Oh man, I want to listen to it now. I'm gonna put it in the chat even because
Yeah,
they've got
that's
to
a
hear
good
it.
one. I'm not sure how far behind the stream is, but it'll be in the chat.
Well,
or something.
I've said it now.
Okay.
Gone 88,000 views, man. It's not even a big, like, well-known song, but to
Yeah.
me, that is just. I put it in the chat. It's so good. I think it's free or it's not even released. Oh, I'm listening to it. Oh, you can buy it, yeah. That's good.
Okay, go and check it out, guys. Sounds pretty good.
Yes, do.
Would you ever consider yourself making future bass?
Yeah. This next EP, you know, there's some cool stuff on there. Don't want to give anything away. But also, it's tricky what future bass is. Like, I think I've done something that people might consider future bass, but it's also like it's not typical future bass. Like I don't know. When it comes out, we'll just see how many arguments there are, and then that's how well it's done.
Yeah. What is your favourite artist outside of Monstercat? If you could pick 5.
5. If I could pick 5, Zed, up there. Zed and Calvin Harris, 100%. John C. from Sigur Rós, that's 3. Chris Martin from Coldplay, easy. And maybe, yeah, Skrillex. I'm not like a massive fan of all of his music, but I just think that he is. I just have mad respect for him because he's a hard worker. He does the most he can, and I think he's great. I think he's really good.
Yeah, he sounds really good. Are you planning on making any VIPs of your tracks?
I did start making a what was it? Men and Machines trap version.
Yeah.
But I just you know it's that kind of thing that's like you're basically just remixing your own song, which is cool. But it's like most times I'd rather write a new song because it's like the original is good for a reason, kind of thing. What good for a reason? The original is the original for a reason, you know. And then like if other people put their stamp on it, I get the VIP thing, but I don't know. Maybe. I'm never happy with it. The only one, the Men of Machines one, the Redemption one, that one just worked. It was just like that works really well, and I had an idea for it, but like I tried on Knight Rider and it wasn't clicking. Like because I knew what the original was, it's so hard to remix it. I was just like, no, I'll leave it. Maybe one of the newer ones.
Maybe one of the new ones. Okay, that's it.
I tried it. I'll try Inertia. No promises because it doesn't always work.
Okay, that'd be good to hear. Do you believe that genres define the music people make?
Oh, that's cracked up loads. Didn't hear that.
Do you believe the genres define the music people make?
No. I am a big believer in just writing music. I don't think like right, I'm gonna write this specific genre. I start writing if it feels like a certain genre, then I'll lean towards it. But I don't think people should write like I think Joel's wrote a good example in that because he's known for dubstep. I think he feels a bit constrained. I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but I just I've never stuck to one genre, and what's good about that is that I don't ever feel like I should be doing one genre. Like people are expecting one genre. And it's good if you want to. I think the most important reason to stick to a genre is if you're like playing live. And when you go to play live, people expect a certain genre because they're like your songs. You know, you can play your songs along with other songs in that genre. But if I went to play live, what would I play? You know, would it be drum and bass? Would it be house? Would it be 100 BPM? Would it be glitch hop? Would it be?
Yeah.
I don't know, you know, it's like So, which is good in a way, but also it might be disappointing to someone. Like if they were like, "Oh, I can't wait to hear Men and Machines," and then it's just like, "Yeah, but that's not quite what I'm DJing. I'm DJing house, and Men and Machines is dubstep, so I'm not gonna."
That's what happened with that's what happened with Helberg when he came out with the girl.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened? People were confused.
He, you know, Helberg. I don't know exactly. Helberg is more of a house. I'd say more. But when he came out with the girl, it was kind of a different style. You know, it was a different kind of perspective of you know, music and genre.
Right. I saw that promo video he did as well. It's cool.
Producers need to juggle many different aspects of music creation and their branding nowadays. Any insights or outlooks that you would want to share with us?
About what was the bit? They juggle what?
Juggling different aspects of music creation and branding.
Insights. All right. I think the most important thing when writing music is to like, it seems really obvious, but it's just to write music. It's never to listen to someone and be like, oh, I wish I was doing what they were doing, and then try and do that, because that is just so frustrating. You're sitting there, you're going, why didn't it sound as good as theirs? What the hell? Why am I not doing? That's like a really vicious cycle, because you just end up in a really annoyed, frustrated place. When you sit down to write something, you should just have an open mind. Just write what you want to write. Start with a chord progression. Start with a sample. Start with anything. Something will click. Something will go, oh wow, this is cool, and then you'll get a vibe. As soon as you get a vibe, that's when you know this is a good song for you to do. You know, that's when it's just like, oh cool, all right, well I'm gonna put this here, and then you come up with ideas, and that's natural. I think when you get too focused on like what your brand is going to be and what your sound is going to be, you lose focus, and you don't produce something that really would be you, you know, because the best way to represent yourself as a brand is to write music that is you. It is literally a piece of you that's like, this is something I've written that literally whilst I was writing it, I was buzzing, and I was going, oh, this is awesome, this is really cool. I can't wait for everyone to hear it. That's when you know it's a good thing. If it sounds like someone else, you know, it's not plagiarism, it's not copyright. But that just means that you have a similar style, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you hear like recently, I was listening to Porter Robinson, and I was like, oh, I really want to write a track like that, and I was just like, no, that's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to just be like, that's a really cool track. I'm really inspired by that. I'm now going to write some music. If it sounds similar, cool, but I'm not going to sit there and go like, oh, okay, what BPM is this? What kick has he used? Why is this? How's he made the snare so big? That kind of stuff. Because you just, you know, you lose focus, and you get sidetracked, and that's not a good way to write. I would say.
Oh, some good tips. Good tips there. When did you start making music, and why? And why was it EDM?
It wasn't. Yeah, that's the beauty of it, of writing, is that when I first started writing, in general, it was probably when I was 16, and I was writing like guitar music because that's all I knew how to do. I was writing quite a lot of rock because I didn't really have many synths. So I started off doing that, and then when I heard Skrillex's what's this remix? What's that big remix? The first one. What's that? Hey Sexy Lady.
Oh yeah.
The Hey Sexy Lady remix. When I heard that, and also Dr. P's remix of Furnesh Solaire. When I heard those two dubstep songs, I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And then I started getting into synths and really kind of like just saws, basically saw waves. I just love saw waves. Because Flux Pavilion was really heavy on the saws. And so I basically just, that's when it went more. I wouldn't say EDM. It was more dubsteppy. It was 140, and that's when I wrote the introduction EP. And even on there, it's not all dubstep. That's classic. That's classic me. Where even on the first EP, it was like there were a couple of songs which are the main ones, but then the rest were just any BPM. And that's what I find. What happens is that when you write something in a certain BPM, I never consider it as a certain genre, but because of the BPM and maybe the sounds you're using, it will be pigeonholed into that. It's like inertia. I don't know what genre it is. I don't really. It's neither here nor there for me, but it's helpful for people to know. I guess when they see something, they just want to know, what is this?
Yeah.
I just went on a tangent there.
How did you come up with your alias?
It's my name.
Yeah.
Jamie Draper. Done. Pretty easy.
What are your plans for the future?
I think basically for now, right, like in the immediate kind of 6 months, it's I've got some stuff happening with Monstercat. Don't want to go too much into it. So that's going to be great because that's going to be a real boost around the Draper stuff because recently it's slowed down a bit. So now this is just going to be a really big push behind the Draper stuff. We're doing the DJ stuff more, so I'm doing some more shows as Draper. Yeah, but it's kind of we're figuring out what the Draper thing is because I don't know how to I know how to DJ, but I don't know how to DJ Draper because it's like what do I DJ and what do I play? Especially to people that don't know who I am because it's like 60% of my fan base are in America, so they're not going to come to my London shows. It's just figuring out all the different opportunities I have as Draper and exploiting them. Just making sure that I'm taking any opportunity that comes my way. Because that's the best thing and the only thing you can do in this industry is just if you get an opportunity, make the most of it.
Yeah.
Because if you decide that if you decide not to do it, it might be a really bad move. So just jump on those opportunities. That's what I'm doing.
That's good. That's good. So you said about possible a DJing event or concert. Would you call it a concert or?
I don't know what I'd call it. An event in which I'm playing music.
Okay. Whereabouts would you reckon these would be? Just.
There's one happening in 2 weeks where I'm DJing at Wireless Festival, which is it's like a pop festival. It's like but for that, I probably won't play that much of my own stuff because it's not the place to be like, hey, check me out. It's people will just be like, what is this song? I don't know what it is, and then leave, and you're DJing to an empty room. That's more about just getting my name on the bill, and just so people see that name and go, oh, I remember that or something. Eventually, it'd be great to get on a support tour for someone that playing my music. Because the thing is, I can't support or play places. I can't play my own music in hype venues. If I can't play in a club. I would never play any Draper stuff in a club because maybe Coloured Glass, that'd be the only thing. But even that's still quite melodic compared to some of the house stuff. The house stuff that's played in clubs is quite dark. So I'm trying to figure out who would be the best person to kind of go on tour with and be able to play my music and people not expect to be hearing Calvin Harris and you know whatever and big dance tunes, because that's, you know, I can't mix you know, Sweet Nothing into Men and Machines. That just doesn't work.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just we're figuring out what the best route for the kind of DJing is, and then yeah, maybe it's America. Maybe it's just going over there and playing, because all the UK people that went over to America in EDM have done so well. Mainly Calvin Harris. Done really well.
Yeah. Have you ever found yourself in an artistic slump? How did you get yourself out of it?
I have, yeah, many times. Usually it happens when I'm stuck on an idea and it really bugs me. And the best way to get out of it is to stop writing that track, because you just can't force it. You really can't. And the best thing to do is to just start something new and start something that's, you know, how to do. You know. So if I got stuck on a house track or something, I'd just go like, right, I'm going to write something else. Start on the piano and be like, oh, okay, this is working, and then just getting an idea out, because once you've allowed the creativity to flow again, then you go back to the other one and be like, oh yeah, okay, it'll still be slow, it's not just going to come to you like that, but it will be like, oh, okay, this makes sense now. And you need time to reflect on tracks. You can't just expect to finish a track there and then. You need to be like, right, that's as far as I'm going to get today. I'm going to come back to it tomorrow. Come back and you're like, oh wow, I need to change the kick. The synths are too high. I want to put a synth here. I want to put all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It comes with hindsight.
Okay, yeah. What were you doing during your hiatus from Monstercat, 014 to 019?
14 to... That's between like Men and Machines and Perspectives, I think, right?
Yeah.
What was I doing? Oh, well, actually, I was writing for a production company called The Invisible Men.
Okay.
And I was writing pop music, so that was basically my full-time job. So the Draper stuff slowed down because it was hard to balance everything, because I'll be working throughout the week on that, and you only have so much creativity in a day. So to write, I was writing a song a day basically, and to write throughout the day, and then be like, right, I'll write my own stuff now. It's just like, oh, I can't think of anything. So it slowed down, but that whole process was so amazing, working with The Invisible Men, because I learned so much from them, and I'm now not working with them, but it was, what I learned from them was just mind blowing. You know, just so much stuff that I can now apply to the Draper stuff, and be a lot more confident about it, which is great. Really
that's good. Yeah. Are there any stories that you think of, or any deep intellectual meaning when writing your songs? For example, Muzzy's Lost Metropolis has some background meaning.
Does it? What was the background meaning there?
I am not sure. It was a suggested question by people. But it might say.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you write a song, it comes from somewhere. I'm not sure where half the songs I've written came from, because it's rarely something that I'm actively thinking, oh, this is what I'm going to write because I'm feeling like this. I don't know. I've never actively thought I'm writing this because of this. I like to engage some of my fans on like Instagram. So like with Joyride, that was named by someone on my Instagram. So there's kind of like, there was that where I was like, here, name this song, and I did the same with Inertia. I think I don't know. The guy who named it is the Blender Man. I think I thought I saw him earlier, but he's gone now. In the chat. He named Inertia, and so I think I haven't had Perspectives. I guess was like that was just to do with, you know, the meaning of perspectives. You know, it was like I just thought that really applied to what I was doing, in that I don't do one genre, so you can kind of see me as you want, or see the music as however you want, because it's your own perspective, and there's nothing wrong with that. And what was the one after that? That was Inertia. And before that, Men of Machines. Men of Machines was named because I used one of the samples. Before it was Men of Machines, it was called Lagoon.
Yeah.
I don't know. So basically, I found that sample that goes, when I think of the future, I think of Men of Machines, and I called that. Knight Rider was called something else. Inertia was called Sprice. I come up with the randomest names. It's literally just whatever word is in my head. So I'm not sure. I don't think there's ever been a huge backstory, but there's always been a reason why I'm doing it, but I don't know what the reason is. You know.
Okay. Yeah. How is it like to see all the recent support from your music growing with each release?
It's very cool. It's very humbling to know that people are. It's great to see things like in the comments when people say like, I liked this before I listened to it because it's Draper. That kind of stuff is just like, oh, that's nice. But I think it's really great just to see what you're doing is developing, because as much as it is just about the music, it is also great to know that what you're doing is going somewhere and that it's progressing. It's not all about that, but obviously if you're trying to make a career out of it, to see I'm now on two of my videos have now got 1 million views, and to see that happen is just like, you know, going from 3 years ago when I had probably 100,000 views or something to 2 videos with 1 million. That's really great. That's really, it shows that it's going somewhere, which is really important.
Yeah.
As well as the music.
That's cool. That's really good. How much do you think your fans love your work? Also, how much do you want to be part of the community?
That was the first part. How much?
How much do you think your fans love your work?
How much do I think that?
Yeah.
Loads. Like 10 out of 10. No, I think that people are critical sometimes. They'll say like, oh, I preferred this EP or I preferred that release, which is fine. That's the whole meaning behind perspectives. That's absolutely fine. But being part of the community is amazing. Like the Monstercat community is so loyal. You've got such great people in it. It's just so great, and it's so diverse and so big as well. With all the subreddit stuff, the stuff on Reddit. That's really crazy how like I didn't even know it existed until, I don't know, a couple months ago, and then I went on there and I just searched Draper, and then to see people actively talking about it was just like, wow. I mean, that shows all these fans are just committed, and they love it. They love the music and they love the interaction. I think the whole Monstercat, the artists and the fans, it's so interactive. People tweet and all this kind of stuff, which I think is just brilliant. And you wouldn't get from any other label, I don't think. If you tweet someone, they might not tweet back, and it's just I don't know. It's cool. It's very cool. Very cool community.
Yeah, we definitely agree with you. That's good.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who wanted to start to produce music?
Don't rush. That is my number one thing. I find that people tend to kind of write the first thing that comes into their head and then want it released. That's not how it worked for me. It might work for you if it's the most amazing thing you've ever written and you think it's amazing. I mean, whatever you write, you always think is amazing because you've written it. And that can be quite misleading sometimes. You think like, oh, this is amazing. It's happened to me hundreds of times where I say this is amazing, and then I come back to it, I listen to it, I go, actually, I wish I didn't send that to everyone. So I would just say, you know, just take your time. There is really no rush. You know, everyone is so young, and they're all like 16, like, oh, I want to get a release on Monstercat. Sure, if it is good and if it's of a high standard, but you don't like have to go straight for that. You know, there are ways of or it's important to just take your time and to be like, and not to just be take what you've written and chuck it out there. Because it takes, like everything in the world, it takes practice. You need to practice with different songs. You need to write lots of different songs. I think it's like 1 in 20 songs that you write is actually really good. You know, those odds, I guess, change for different people, but especially when you're starting out. When the stuff I wrote when I first started, I wouldn't wish my worst enemy to hear, because it is dreadful. It's like it's not knowing how to produce in a 3-minute track, and so but I didn't release that, you know, but because it's so easy to release stuff now, it's like, oh, I'm gonna put this on YouTube, I'm gonna put it on SoundCloud, and then it doesn't get many views, and it's like, oh, why isn't this working? And it's just not how it works, really, unless you get lucky. But it's you know, I don't know. I think that it is just really important to take time. Basically,
Yeah.
That was the long answer.
That's some good advice.
The short answer is take time.
Yeah. Make sure it's definitely the music they want before.
Yeah, make sure that, because basically whenever you put something out, that reflects your brand. That reflects on your what's the word? Not persona. That's I guess your brand, your online image. You know, that's like as soon as you put something online, people can hear that, and if it's bad, then that name that you've used will be like like if it's like a kind of spectrum of quality, you know, that kind of meter will dip a bit into the bad quality. Be like, oh, okay, so why did they post that kind of thing? And you just want it always to be in the very good quality to make sure that when you put something out, people go, oh wow, that's amazing, can't wait for the next thing, you know, rather than yes, this is all right, you know, and then they don't come back. And it's tricky because SoundCloud, you know, get a SoundCloud account for free and you just chuck stuff up there. But that's not always the best option, because you just want it to be the best representation of yourself and of your music as it can be.
Yeah. That's some good advice. Well, thanks, Draper. What is your favourite track off your Perspectives EP?
Color Glass. Done. Easy.
Can we hear the darker inertia that you wrote for your DJ set at some point?
Inertia. Yeah.
Oh yeah, inertia.
I will. Let me see where it is. No, it was Darker Men and Machines. Did I do a Darker Note? No, I didn't do it. It was Men and Machines.
Can we have Men and Machines then?
Let's just see. Hold on. Your voice is going to come out on here as well because it's my speakers. So that was kind of that was like an hour's worth of editing. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't.
We'll see. I've already done a VIP of that, so that'd be super weird if I just did 2.
Yeah. What is your best moment from your career so far?
Oh, good question, Nate. I think basically the coolest thing I've done to date was, but also wasn't really related to like Draper, was I DJ'd on Wembley Stadium. I mean, again, DJ'd. I was pretend DJing for Rita Ora, because it's like, you know, you go on stage, you stand behind some decks that aren't even on, and you just look like you're DJing. But just to be able to stand, I was basically just jumping up and down on Wembley Stadium. But just to experience that, you know, it was just like, it's like 80,000 people.
Wow.
And it was just like, I just remember it so vividly, because when I walked out, no one cared. No, obviously everyone was just like, oh, I win. But I had 3 friends who were in amongst the 80,000, and I pinpointed each of their woo. So like, I had a friend to my left, and I literally heard him go, woo, Draper! Out of 80,000 people, I heard his one voice say that. I was like, what's up, man? How's it going? And then it's like, it's really military. It's like Draper's on, 30 seconds later, Rita's on. So there's 30 seconds after I've plugged in my headphones into an off-state mixer, and then I just for the fun of it, I put in my Draper EP CDs into the or one of them, just for the sake of the image, and because I just wanted to, just in case, like, for some reason the CDJ started playing, it was my music, and everyone was like, "This is amazing! This is the best thing I've ever heard." Why aren't they playing this? That didn't happen. And then Rita comes on, and the sound was like nothing I've ever heard before. 80,000 people screaming is like, it literally, I went from quite chill, I was like, oh, right, cool, let's do this, to literally just like, oh my god, there's like 80,000 people here, because it just hits you. It's like this wall of sound. I don't know if you've been to like a football match or something, or like anything with like a big crowd, and as soon as everyone starts screaming, it's just this like, and to be at the pinpoint, like what everyone's looking at, was just like, it was scary. It was, and I feel in a way a large amount of respect for the people that do that, because I was terrified, and if asked to even speak, I would probably wobble, my voice would wobble, let alone sing in front of 80,000 people. That's impressive, you know, that's really good. But less about Rita Ora. That was a really, really cool moment for me.
Yeah.
But in terms of Draper stuff, I wrote a track for Cheryl Cole. That was good.
What track was that?
It's called "It's About Time." It was on my last one. It's track 3. So that was a really cool Draper. Well, again, more of a production side. But in terms of like Monstercat Draper, coolest moment was probably getting the T-shirts done. That was cool. That was really, you know, just to have people tweeting pictures of, like, you know, Draper T-shirts. That's cool. Thought that was. Cool. I don't even have one myself, so.
Oh. Have you made any music outside of a Draper alias?
Yeah. I made. Well, I've done lots because the Draper stuff is very specific in its sound, and I do like all different genres. I've done trap, and I've done kind of R&B. I wrote a song. Have you heard of an artist called Lapsley? She was on the BBC Sound of 2015, so she got a lot of hype from that. But I wrote a single called Falling Short, and so that's like, I'll put the link into that, because that was just completely different to anything I've ever written. So that was that's something else I've done. I think also this group I've got called Chimes, which is myself and a singer, and that's really cool because it's like, it's dance music, and that's like club music, you know, that's like, we can go out, we can DJ, we can perform, so that's a really big one. And then just you know, if I'm not writing Draper stuff, I'm just writing. I have in my iTunes, I think I've said this 100 times on my own stream, on my iTunes, if I type in Draper There are. Oh, I'm going to show there are 358 songs under Draper.
Whoa,
For the stuff I've written over the past 2 years for The Invisible Men, there are 437 different items, songs, and then I've even got a folder called Draper Archive, which is basically all the stuff I'll never use, but that's got 700 songs in it. So in total, I've written about 1,400 songs, which is a lot of songs. But that's what I do. Yeah, that's the commitment. I'm always writing. If I'm not writing myself, I'm not writing for somebody else. I'm just writing, because I like writing. So yeah.
What made you decide to start streaming?
Mr. Fiji, because I was watching him. I've never watched a production stream before, and it was only like 3 weeks ago. He was remixing, I think, That Girl, the Hellberg one, and it just looked really cool, and I thought, I can do that. I produce all the time. I could show people my process. I've always wanted to kind of show people how I make certain things. I went through inertia and I showed how I made that, and that's cool because you don't get to see the behind the scenes of how people make songs, and it's reassuring sometimes to see someone's behind the scenes, because it's not like, they're not a mastermind genius that's got 10,000 layers and they've got like all these things. It's literally just a song with some drums kind of thing, and it's not this big mind-blowing how did they write this kind of thing. Like I've seen, I don't know, maybe Skrillex do one, and Deadmau5, just seeing their process, it's like, it's cool. So it's cool to be able to do that as well. To a lot less people. I get like 80 people in my stream, rather Skrillex gets probably 1 million. One day.
One day, yeah. Because it is amazing to watch how an artist goes from barely anything to an amazing track.
Yeah, and it would hopefully, I mean, for me watching Fiji, it was great just to see even what plugins they use, because you'd be like, I'll try that out, and it made that sound with that plugin. Oh, crazy! I'm gonna do that too.
Yeah,
it's not stealing; it's inspiration.
It's like experimenting with like new stuff.
Exactly.
What characteristics do you think make a good track?
Good songwriting. That's something I've learned over the past 2 years, and there's nothing better than a well-written song. And I mean, what I mean by that is like, it has a very clear theme and a very clear. What you get from it is very obvious. You're like, I get this song. It's really hard to explain. But like, the reason why Beatles songs will always be timeless is because they're all like 4 main chords, 4 major or minor chords that aren't trying to do something ridiculously crazy, but they're just well written, and the top line is the vocals are well written. So if you can write a really well written top line as well as a really good instrumental, you've got yourself a song. It doesn't need to be complex strobe bass hype jungle trap, as long as it well, but this is a different style of writing. Like for me, what makes a good song is when it's like that, when it's like a well-written song. But for someone else, it might be something that gets you really hyped up. If it's like got a crazy synth on it, or I wouldn't say that they're bad songwriters. It's just they're writing in a different way. Like club music, it's heavy and it's not as pop, I guess, as the chord structured songs. But the chord structured songs is what I lean towards, because that's just, I want to, like, for me, what I always think about is I always want to be, in 20 years, I want to listen back to this music and think, I'm glad I wrote that, and I'm glad that this still sounds cool. I don't want to write something that has a drop, like what I just played. I wouldn't normally write that, but I don't want to write something that it's basically just a trend. I don't want to write something that in 20 years play to my kids and they'll just be like, ooh, yikes, what the hell is this? You know, like I think dubstep, that kind of movement, listen 20 years, you'll be a bit like, oh god, that's quite intense.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying in any way that it's bad, but it's just for me, I want my music to be a bit more long-lasting than the genre that it's following. You know.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Is there any Draper merchandise that we can look forward to seeing?
I probably it depends what Monstercat are doing. I think I don't know the details, but I think there might be some more stuff coming. We need to just figure that out. When I know, I'll let you all know.
you know, if I had a Draper like coffee mug or something, you know, I'd just sit and chill right here.
All right, I'll look into that. or maybe like a Draper coffee mug, and then when it gets hot, you know, like the colors fade, but just the beginning D and the end R, they just fade away.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
So you just got a really offensive mug.
Do you want to take a break for a minute, or are you okay to?
I'm good. I didn't think you'd have any more questions. This is great.
Hey, I think we should take a break real quick and do the Twitter responses real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Thing.
All right, if you want to get them sorted out, we'll be back in just a minute.
I got them right in front of me, so.
All right.
All right, are we ready?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right. Synth Sense says, "Where do you pull your inspiration from in making your music?"
Nice, like that. Literally anywhere. Like graduation was one that I remember it vividly, where I was in a car, my friend was driving, and something played on the radio, but I heard it differently. Like I kind of caught bits of it, and then I thought, oh wow, like, and then I literally a chord progression happened in my head, and I recorded it on my phone. I was like, bum 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 bum, and then I wrote that track, and it was so natural, and that was really really cool. Quite often, if I watch something, so like I remember there are kind of certain things that I remember more than others, but like I watched the finale of How I Met Your Mother, and I was like, as much as it was a horrible ending, I was also like, that's like, it just moved me, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna write something, and then I just sat down at the piano, wrote something, really anything, you know, and that's the best way to do it, you know. If you get really stuck for inspiration, find an audio sample that interests you, watch something, take a break and listen to something. I remember showing Joel Rogue Joel. I think people would know if I say Joel, they'll understand who that is. Showing Joel Porter Robinson's new stuff, that Worlds album, and him being like, oh man, he was just about to go on holiday. He was just like, oh man, I really want to write music now. And it's that kind of thing that someone might write something great that makes you want to write something great. Not copy them, but be like, oh, I want to write something really cool. And so anywhere, everywhere and anywhere, anything can provide inspiration.
Wow, that's great. Now, this is kind of funny. Quantum Star says, breasts or booty?
An equal amount of both. Is that an answer? I'm not really one or the other. I don't know. I'd say an equal amount. Because I'm not like into like massive booties, but I'm also not into massive boobs. So it's kind of like just normal's good.
You're not like Nano B.
Yeah, no, just equal.
Smokestack says, favorite donger.
Fuck. Nope, shouldn't swear. That I don't have one. I don't get this whole donger thing. Protostar inflicted it on me and my Twitch account. I don't have one, I'm afraid, because I don't know enough about it. It's weird.
Alright. Scribble says, can you kiss my car, Draper?
Kiss your car? Yeah. I mean, I can. I wouldn't want to, but if you had a gun and a baseball bat or something, I probably would have to.
Oh. Riley R says, who has been your favorite vocalist to work with?
Ooh. For the record, none of them have been bad to work with. Before I say who I preferred, who I've enjoyed the most, but I would say, I think in terms of where it took my music, is Ben, what his name's on With You. He's Albie Hobbs, and he's done another one on my new EP, and it's actually the next single that's coming out, and he has got a really cool voice that steers the music in a really interesting way, and that's really great when you can do that. But someone that also does that really well is Laura Brem. She I can literally send her like an intro. So recently I sent her an intro that was literally, I don't know, 8 bars long, and she just threw down a random melody, and I was like, that's really cool. And then I wrote the rest of the song based on that. But I would have written something different if she hadn't done that. So it's just really great to have someone that can direct a song just from the tone of their voice and maybe what they're singing about, which is really cool. So yeah, those guys are good.
All right, next question. Swagasaurus Rex. Or Wreck. I'm sorry, Swagasaurus Wrecked. Says, what inspired you to become a meme?
When did what?
What inspired you to become a meme?
There was one, I can't remember who it was. There was one person that took the screenshot of when I accidentally made Anna Yvette say I like anal, purely by accident, from a vocal sample, and I was just like, and then someone screenshotted that. Weird, man. They were so funny though. Some of them were like had me properly laughing. I saved. Wait, let me see if I saved so many of them on my phone, because some of them were like genuinely. I'll try and find the funniest one. This one. No, wait. This was hilarious. Oh, can't read that. Not going to be able to read that. It says, when you hear noises outside your room, but you're home alone. That was just funny, because like I'm always like that. You hear something. It was so funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
It did.
All right, Gray says, what genre have you enjoyed creating the most? Glitch hop, house, dubstep, etc.
House, because for me that's really natural. It's just natural for me. Drum and bass is fun, but it can also be such an uphill battle, because it's not really natural for me, and that took a lot of it was a real learning curve to try and get it to an actual drum and bass good quality standard. Dubstep, I don't actively make that, like in terms of like strong basses, you know. I don't really do bass music. I don't work with wave manipulation and sound manipulation. I just like to write a song. I'll just take a preset in Silent and then write and focus on the songwriting aspect rather than the song design. It's kind of two approaches. I mean, Haywire, well, he probably does both, but I just, you know, I can't. If I start focusing on sound design more than songwriting, then the project just kind of loses its momentum. And and yeah, I think yeah. So.
Yeah. All right, so I think we can continue picking up where we were with the rest of the interview questions. Ryan, you got that?
Okay, yeah, we're on our last page of questions.
Yep.
Page, Jesus. That's fine. I had no idea how many questions there'd be.
So we were quite, like...
Last page, but it's size 104 font, right?
Yeah.
It's one question.
Outside of making music, what are your hobbies or interests?
Whoa! Making music. That's it. I literally, outside of making music, I make more music. I mean, well, I game a lot. I mean, when I say a lot, like compared to people that have racked up like years on CS:GO, I play like FIFA and Assassin's Creed and games that you can jump into without playing like a serious, death match on CS:GO. So yeah, I like to game. I watch all of the TV shows. I'm into Game of Thrones, Orange is the New Black, Big Bang Theory, just like everything. If like there's a series that I haven't watched, I will binge watch it until I've caught up. Like I watched the entire first three seasons of House of Cards, 30 hours worth of House of Cards in about a week and a half. Like it was just constant watching, like an hour long each. But it's like that's my personality. Like if I want to do something, I'll just do it. You know, like if I want to write something, I'll just start writing. I won't be like, oh, I'll write it later or anything like that. Other than that, I don't know. Just it is literally I just write so much. If I'm not writing, I'm gaming. If I'm not gaming, I'm writing. But I swear I have friends as well. But they're just a burden. Kidding.
If you could be anywhere in the world, where would you be and why?
LA, because I think that it would just be great to be in that scene for a bit. I wouldn't want to live there for a long time, but I'd love to just try it out. Also just in America somewhere, because my music is so much better suited in American scenes. They like the commercial electro stuff, and it doesn't do as well over here because most of England's kind of music taste derives from Radio 1. What Radio 1 are playing will be, or 1Extra or stuff like that, what they're playing will kind of dictate what's big in the UK.
Yeah.
In terms of like really big underground stuff, obviously there's loads of underground stuff all the time, but Radio 1 will, like, they play something, then everyone likes it, or then they'll, because if you get onto A list or B list on Radio 1, then you have to listen to it, and then eventually you'll probably like it. So yeah, I think LA for sure, or maybe Canada. I'd give Canada a go.
Okay. Based on that answer, what are your thoughts on the current British EDM scene?
It's very interesting because I find that it's not that big compared to America. I think it comes down to Americans are fine with playing commercial stuff, whereas over here, if you went to like a really cool or trendy house party, you would play really you'd play deep house or something. You wouldn't play. I don't know. It seems a bit more uptight in the UK in terms of. Yeah, so I think that. But as far as EDM goes, I mean, it's doing pretty well in the charts. Alesso's in there, and just to have, house music charting is cool because it means that people are listening to it and they do like it. So there is a market for it, but a lot less than America. I think just Americans appreciate it a bit more, and not that UK don't don't unappreciate it, but I don't know. I just don't think they get it as much as the Americans do.
Okay.
I don't know about Europe though.
I do agree, because I'm from the UK, and I do agree, definitely.
I am not from the UK, that's for sure.
But you still agree.
Yeah.
Have you gotten feedback or support from your family or personal friends?
Yeah. I mean, my parents are hugely supportive. I've got one sister, and she's obviously supportive. My friends, they're all supportive, but I'm not sure many of them actually like my music, which is fine. Like I don't expect them to, and I genuinely hate when like people play my stuff as a joke, and not like in a bullying way, but like, you know, if we're at a party and someone puts on a song and goes like, "Hey," I'm just like, you know, like no one actually wants to hear it, and it's not what we're listening to right now. So let's not listen to that. And I'll probably go and change it. But yeah, there's a lot of support, which is great. But I don't. Yeah, my friends don't all like my music as much as other people. You wouldn't expect them to, you know. It's like, unless you were writing, I don't know. Yeah, you wouldn't expect them to, unless you knew their taste in music and wrote stuff according to that.
Yeah. Here in America, it's like here in the States where I live, it's actually rap that's the biggest influence, I think, currently. Most of my friends, when I listen to electronic music, even your music, I know a couple friends that really get hooked into it, but not, you know, a lot of people shun the idea and the genre of electronic music, and many, and it's really surprising the statistics of that here in the States.
I can see how, yeah, rap. I mean, the amount of rap and trap that's charting in America is mad. It's crazy. I really don't like that Trap Queen song, man. Oh, how? It's such a bad song. Opinions. Opinions, everyone's got one.
Okay, the last question of the interview.
Oh, hey.
Before I do the outro. Would you rather work with unlimited resources and endless creative freedom, or under some kind of confines or restrictions to give yourself a challenge?
So that's a good question. What were the options? The unlimited resource
and endless creative freedom.
Was it limited resource and endless creative freedom and constrained creative freedom and unlimited resources?
It was unlimited resources and endless creative freedom, or under some kind of confines.
Oh, so right. Endless resources and endless creativity. You know, I think that's just the best. I would really love one day to have a studio, because I have no hardware. The only bit of hardware I have is this. Oh, I'm gonna break something. Is this, which is like a Korg MS2000R, and it is literally an absolute ball ache to use, because it's not plugged in anywhere. I have to MIDI out for that, and I can just jam out and just be like, oh, I'm gonna write something. Oh, that's not working. Go to the other side of the room, and there's another keyboard. There's a drum machine. Oh man, I've seen studios where like that. I've seen studios like that where they have so much equipment, but the songs they're writing are god awful. It's like it's all the gear and no idea. Whereas I'm some idea and literally no gear other than it's all in the box Cubase plugins. So I would love to have a room of equipment and just because you can be endlessly creative. You can literally just be like, I want to write this. I want to make a sound with this. Oh, it'd be so. It would literally. That's my idea of a playground. You know, really would love that.
Yeah, that'd be cool if like Monstercat eventually gets that and an artist can go and use it.
Yeah, that would be cool. I would fly over to Canada just for that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You know, that would be a really really creative idea if Monstercat had like loaned out like their studio to different artists, and you could be in there. You would have studio time. And
I think. Well, I think they are. They are. That is something they're looking. They're trying to promote more. But the issue is just getting the artists over there.
True.
You know, if, like for me, it'd be probably like a 600 pound return flight. And that's just, I mean, obviously, I one day I want to go over there and meet the guys that release my music. But yeah, it's a cool idea, and I think one day it'd be great to just have a bunch of people in there. And they definitely know that that's definitely something they want to do. And it would be great. It'd be so cool. Yeah. And the fans would love it, like
definitely.
like 4 artists on one track. They'd be like, ah.
The podcast would just crash.
Yeah, exactly. One song that every Monstercat artist has written like 1 bar of.
That should be the 4-year anniversary.
Yeah, that would be cool. It's crazy.
Well, Draper, I just want to thank you so much for the interview. And
no worries, man. Happy to do it.
As an artist and as a person, you're really cool. A cool guy.
Hey! Thanks, man.
Hopefully this has given everyone a better perspective, and we're really looking forward to seeing whatever you have next. Also, Colour Glass won the poll of your best track, followed by Pressure, Inertia.
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 You ain't saying inertia right. Inertia. Inertia. Silent T or shirty.
Yeah. Come on, Ryan. I even knew that.
So, do rapper? I like your song Inertia. That's cool, man.
Thanks to everyone who watched. Hope you enjoyed the interview. And that awesome
man been watching the chat. That's
edit. Hopefully we answered all of your questions, and we couldn't have done this without you. And we'll try to get the stream up to YouTube in the following month or so.
Actually, it'll be up on YouTube in a couple hours.
Oh,
well, hey. They even quicker than a month.
Yeah. Okay. And Draper, if you can, we may have some unanswered questions on Twitter. So if you would like to, you can go and check them out.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. If anyone has questions, just tweet me. Like I'm always responding to questions on Twitter. People get surprised by that. I'm just on Twitter the whole time. Like it'll probably even pop up on my phone. I'll be like, oh hey, what's up?
So yeah, we'll have like a 5-minute after party after this. Alright.
Oh yeah, we have used the hashtag Draper interview in case that would be easier for you to find the questions.
Oh no, it's already happened. when the drop hits you hard. Oh man. This is why I can't. What happens if I pull faces, man? Ah.
That's
That's hilarious. When you hear about a collaboration between 2 of your favorite artists. Oh man, Theo, you're funny. Oh, Jesus Christ! It's happened again. I've got a comical face apparently.
Well, thank you very much for the interview. That was really, really great of you for doing that.
Thank you guys for doing it. Big ups to the Monstercat Family Hub, Is it just you 2 guys?
No. A team of about 30 of us.
Oh really? Wow.
Doing all different stuff. So yeah.
That's awesome. Right, well, big ups to the 30 of you, the whole team.
Alright, well I'm gonna end this right here a minute here.